Season 2 of the Netflix dark comedy series Afterlife has just been released, which continues the story upon Tony struggling to find a reason to live following his wife's sudden death. And here are my thoughts. In my opinion, I felt as though this season had a lot less comedy to it. However, if you really look at the two seasons side by side, it's actually pretty similar of how much comedy they have with them. The reason I feel like this season has less is because the emotion within the second season has been dialed up a lot. So I feel like it's been increased, which was done very well. We always see Ricky Gervais dissing someone or making quite harsh jokes, like at the Golden Globe Awards recently.
Once upon a time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long, Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him.
As he is a comedian who doesn't really seem to care what people think of him, and even though he severely disses people in this series, seeing him depressed and bursting out in tears is actually really heartbreaking. And I think not only as an actor but as a director, he dealt with this whole project very well. I can't go into too much detail as it contains spoilers for this season, but as much as this show is about loss and how to deal with it, this season is all about appreciating the past, but accepting that it will not be the same and embracing making new memories. I'm aware that it was a main source of the comedy and is trying to uplift the mood so it's not as depressing. But the whole situation with Matt's therapist, I don't actually think he's given a name in it. It just changes the mood of this drastically, which felt out of place, and it was quite distracting because you'd be very involved with the struggles of certain people, and then this would happen. And although it was funny, it was very distracting. As of filming, just like with Extraction, it's bound to change as it's a new release, but at the moment, Afterlife Season 2 is 67% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I personally would give it 7 out of 10 and 4 stars. So Afterlife overall supplies a good insight on what someone dealing with loss feels like, and considers how it might not always appear on the outside that someone is really struggling. Although it is a dark comedy, I consider this more of a drama that contains funny moments, because the comedy is meant to be very entertaining and uplift your mood. But this show's core is about losing someone and depression. It is hard to enjoy the comedy as much as it all leads back to depression. I don't think that it is entertaining strictly because it's very depressing to watch, but it is done well, especially from Ricky Gervais, who stars and directs this show. I do recommend though, as it can teach you a thing or two about how to support someone struggling, or in some cases, what not to do. Overall, the show is just full of emotion, and this season just feels the second half of season 1. I really can't decide which one is better, as it continues without any pauses, it just flows very naturally. Thank you for watching this video. I would really appreciate if you liked and subscribed, because honestly, although we're all locked indoors at the moment, it is very hard trying to constantly watch the latest stuff, like binge through it, so I can have this out in time so it would be more popular. So although I enjoy making these, I would really appreciate if you liked and subscribed.